They were never mentioned in the official chronicles. Their names erased, their deeds buried under the rubble of holy wars. And yet, they walked among kings and popes. They shaped the Crusades not with swords, but with secrets. In the burning shadow of the failed Second Crusade, as thousands of knights lay rotting beneath Levantine suns, a quiet, invisible force moved beneath the blood-soaked sands. Not for glory, not for God, but for a far older oath. One forged not in Jerusalem, but beneath it. You've heard of the Templars, you've heard of the Hospitallers, but there was another, a brotherhood so secret, even the Vatican feared to speak their name. This is the story of that brotherhood, one that did not fight in the open, but survived in the silence. And if what the forbidden texts suggest is true, they still exist. It begins not on the battlefield, but in the crumbling libraries of Antioch. The year was 1148. The Second Crusade had turned into a bitter, fractured failure. The city of Damascus had not fallen. The Christian armies were in retreat. Morale was shattered. But among the chaos, a monk named Renard of St. Denis carried with him a bundle of parchments, frantic scribbles, maps, and symbols older than Latin. He wasn't a soldier. He wasn't a priest. But Renard had uncovered something during the Crusaders' brief stay in Edessa. Something hidden beneath the foundations of the Church of the Virgin. Something that didn't belong in the Christian world or the Muslim one. No one listened. Not the knights. Not the priests. Not even the king of Jerusalem. They were too consumed with survival, too weary to care. So Renard did what few dared. He turned to the shadows. He found others, scribes, excommunicated monks, renegade Sufis, and defected soldiers. Men with no allegiance but to knowledge long forbidden. Together they formed a pact, not bound by faith nor nation, but by silence. They called themselves Fratres Siletii, the Brothers of Silence. Their symbol? A circle of thorns. Their mission? To protect what should not be found. Historians have long debated whether such a group ever existed. Most dismiss the references as apocryphal or allegorical. And yet, scattered across the ruins of the Levant and deep within Vatican vaults, are clues. Pages half-burnt, sigils scratched beneath ancient stones, and letters written in a cipher that modern cryptographers have failed to decode. The strange thing? They all seem to vanish after 1150. Every trace, gone. But one letter, preserved in the personal archive of an obscure Portuguese noble, changes everything. It is dated 1187, nearly 40 years after the Second Crusade. It describes a gathering held in secret near Acre, a gathering of those who once walked beneath the temple. It references a chamber of the seven sighs, and most chillingly, it warns of a betrayal from within the holy orders. Was this letter a hoax? Or had the Brotherhood not only survived, but thrived? Some researchers believe Fratres Siletii were behind the sudden, unexplained excommunication of several high-ranking Templars in 1179. Others link them to the mysterious disappearance of a relic convoy en route from Constantinople in 1184, a caravan carrying what some claim to be fragments of the original Ark of the Covenant. All records of that caravan's cargo erased. Coincidence? One scholar, Dr. Émeric Lafontaine of the Sorbonne, went further. He claimed the Brotherhood had infiltrated all sides of the conflict, Crusaders, Saracens, even Byzantine spies. He presented a thesis suggesting that their true goal was not the Holy Land itself, but something beneath it. Caves, tunnels, vaults predating Solomon. Lafontaine's research was never published. He disappeared in 1997 after claiming he had found one of the original seals of the Brotherhood in a Jerusalem antiques market. His apartment was ransacked. His notes never recovered. Some say the Brotherhood silenced him. Others say he joined them. Now consider this. After the failure of the Second Crusade, the Church began an unusual project. The gathering and locking away of hundreds of texts, many of them in languages lost to time. Where did these texts come from? Who discovered them? And why were so many of them found in destroyed Crusader outposts, not monasteries? Some contained diagrams, others fragments of heretical gospels. One even referenced a language not fit for the tongues of men, calling it the serpent's hymn. All of them marked with the same symbol, the circle of thorns. So who were these Brothers of Silence? What did they protect? And why did they vanish so completely? Perhaps the most disturbing clue came from an unlikely source, a Muslim chronicler, Ibn al-Makaffa, who wrote in 1192 of a sect of madmen, among the Franks who spoke no words, carried no banners, and feared no death. He claimed they had entered the catacombs beneath Al-Aqsa during the night of a lunar eclipse, seeking what he called the undying voice. When they emerged days later, 3 of them were dead. The rest were blind. Yet, according to Ibn al-Makaffa, they did not flee. They simply disappeared. Are we chasing ghosts, or is history playing a deeper game? The Crusades were not just about land and faith. They were about control of relics of knowledge of truth. And in that murky war, truth was the first casualty. We like to think we know history, but perhaps history knows us better. It buries what it must, forgets what it fears, and in the silence between the pages, the Brotherhood watches still. Their oath was never to a pope, never to a king, but to the secret itself. So the next time you visit the ruins of an old Crusader fort, when you see a carving that doesn't fit, a pattern that loops without end, or a stone that feels just slightly warm, ask yourself, did they really vanish? Or are they still here, watching, waiting, and ensuring that some truths stay buried forever?